We're back to Neil Haley Show. My guest today is Taylor Duncan of Alternative Baseball. Taylor, thanks for stopping by. How did this all start? Tell me about it.
Well, I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum, and in my area, there just weren't very many opportunities for those on the spectrum to compete in sports, as well as other opportunities once they graduated out of high school. And with the help of those who've helped me throughout the years, this whole dream has come true, and we're continuing to expand across the U.S. It's great.
All right. So basically, you decided to do this because there's not opportunities. And how have you expanded across the U.S.? What have been your biggest moves you've been able to make to kind of change it to this national thing versus I had this idea and it grew?
Well, it just started with a group of 6 or 7 players, and then those from across the U.S., and even some in other countries have started contacting me asking to replicate the blueprint of alternative baseball in their areas as well, to be able to provide that same opportunity, not just here in Atlanta, but other places as well, all the way out west to Seattle, to all the way up north to Maine, down to Panama City Beach, Florida.
So tell us more about alternative baseball and how do people get involved?
Well, we started with a group of 6 athletes, and we had those others from across the U.S. who wanted to utilize the same blueprint that we developed for this area to apply in their area to serve others with disabilities as a community-based program, and those places to work on integrating those individuals into their community through extracting certain benefits of the sport of baseball.
So what age levels are you working with? Is it more adults or is children too?
Well, typically the typical age cliff out of age eligibility for most services is 15. So we go 15 all the way up. We don't have an age maximum or cap.
Okay, so that's a nice thing to have an activity that once those activities kind of stop at about 15, you're able to pick this up. That's what's bringing the popularity, right? Because because there's so much community stuff, and then the community services kind of cease to exist.
Pretty much the truth. So many graduate out of high school and then they end up going home and playing video games for the rest of their life because they don't have the encouragement or the resources, whether it's financial or anything really to participate much in. And in a lot of states, vocational rehab doesn't have much money to be able to give them toward their careers.
So how have you been able to raise money and stuff? Tell us more about that.
Basically through donations and sponsorships. And we also host different events where we've done what's called the Playing for Integration Tour this year. And we're going to do it again next year, to where we're taking our programs and we're going to different surrounding areas, playing alongside and against local community leaders, and I quote, local celebrities. And that's been a good fundraiser for us as well. But more importantly, those local community leaders are learning how to work together with those with disabilities in baseball, but they're able to utilize what they learned from the experience to apply in the general society.
Okay, so what local celebrities have you been working with?
Well, we've worked with police departments, state representatives, state senators, fire departments, your general group of well-known people who serve the community. You know, they're having the opportunity to work together with our athletes, and they're applying what they learned through our experience to be able to use to help better govern those with disabilities in their own areas. It's applying in other areas as well.
So how are the rules for alternative baseball?
We're traditional all the way up and down. We only use wood bats, and depending on the level of the players in some areas, they may use a more giant ball that's the De Beer clincher ball, or they can use a little bit of a harder rubber, a Japanese Kenko ball, depending on the group's level of experience and average level of skill, because ultimately we're working on building skills.
All right. Well, this is really, really good stuff. Is there a way people can donate to alternative baseball? Where can they go and stuff?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's www.alternativebaseball.org. Alternativebaseball.org is the place to go where the magic happens, to donate, to sign up to volunteer, to sign up to play, and ask any other questions that you may wish to ask through there as well. But yes, that's a perfect start to donate there. Yes.
All right. We appreciate Taylor. Thanks for stopping by. We'll definitely have you back on to talk more about when your big fundraisers come out. Okay.
Excellent. We're working on an event, Rick Woodfield, America's oldest baseball stadium in Birmingham, Alabama next year. Stay tuned.
All right. You're listening and watching the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.